tourist haunt. As stun grenades and birdshot were fired at Muslim protesters, angered by the British and American airstrikes against Iraq, it looked more like the bad old days of apartheid. At least 4 people were injured, including a young boy and a South African woman journalist. Security ensured Mr. Blair was well clear of the trouble. He presented medals to British experts helping to coordinate South African defence forces. And when he went on to speak at the Parliament buildings, he strongly defended the airstrikes.
I believe that if we hadn't confronted Saddam, when we did, we would only have had to do so at a later stage in circumstances much more dangerous. People say, and I understand, you can't be self-appointed guardians of what's right and wrong. True. But when the international community agrees certain objectives and then fails to implement them, those that can act must.
Though he was speaking in the room where Harold Macmillan fanned Africa's winds of change, Mr. Blair spent most of his time talking about British politics. He also hinted at tax cuts to come in a dynamic economy.
That dynamic economy also needs a tax regime that rewards and stimulates effort and hard work. The right has cut marginal rates of tax for the wealthy. We need to see the benefit for ordinary middle and lower income families.
With special emphasis, Mr. Blair restated his 1997 election message, promising tough leadership, not drift.
It takes resolve, determination, a real grip, a real sense of purpose and direction. And I hope that is what we offer. In government, as in any field of life, there will be setbacks. But there will be no rest until I've made my nation a better place.
Mr. Blair had spent the morning at Nazareth House, an AIDS orphanage where he and his wife Cherie sponsor a child. He announced another £100 million of new money to help fight the disease, mostly in Africa. He promised to be South Africa's advocate and friend in the European Union, but there was no disguising his domestic concern. It's been a chance for Mr. Blair to showcase internationally what he likes to call the third way. He was careful to draw parallels between how his government hopes to transform Britain and the tasks facing Thabo Mbeki in South Africa. But the fact that so far from home he had to spend so much time talking about grip and resolve and determination is a measure of how his government has been wounded by the recent spate of resignations. Robin Oakley, BBC News, Cape Town.